Almost 3 decades after it was first introduced in the Parliament, the Women's Reservation Bill was unanimously passed by the Rajya Sabha on September 21st, 2023.
Motion is adopted by a majority of the total membership of the House and by a majority of not less than 2/3 of the members of the House present and voting. A historic achievement. Congratulations.
With this, the 128th Constitutional Amendment Bill, or the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam, will reserve 1/3 of the seats in the Lok Sabha and legislative assemblies for women. However, do you know that this landmark legislation shares a close relationship with the state of Karnataka? The wheels were set in motion 27 years ago on September 9, 1996 by JDS Supremo and then Prime Minister H.D. Deve Gowda. The Gowda-led United Front government first introduced the Women's Reservation Bill as the 81st Constitution Amendment Bill in the Parliament. The bill failed to get the approval of the House and was referred to a joint parliamentary committee which submitted its report in December 1996. However, the bill lapsed with the dissolution of the Lok Sabha. But the precedent for such a bill had been set within the state of Karnataka much earlier. Karnataka has one of the longest histories of reservation policy in India, dating back to the late 19th century. The Mysuru princely state was a pioneer in providing reservation in its elected bodies. Back in 1939, the Committee on Constitutional Reforms, headed by Diwan Srinivasa Iyengar, which also had famous Kannada writer D.V. Gundappa as its member, had recommended exclusive reservation of 11 seats to women, including 1 each to Muslims and depressed class. Karnataka was also one of the first states to begin the revival of the Panchayat Raj in the 1980s and establish a strong reservation model for women in local self-governments. Based on the recommendations of the 1977 Ashok Mehta Committee, the then Janata Dal government revived the Panchayat Raj system under the leadership of Nazir Saab in 1983. Under the Nyaya Panchayats Act 1983, the state provided reservation to women in local bodies such as the Karnataka Zilla Parishad, Taluk Panchayat Samitis and Mandal Panchayats. As a result, thousands of women were elected to the local bodies in Karnataka in 1987. It would not be wrong to say that Karnataka's legislations in the 1980s sowed the seeds for the genesis of the 73rd and 74th Amendment of 1993, which mandated the reservation of 1/3 of seats for women in Panchayat Raj institutions and urban local bodies. Finally, when these two constitutional amendments were passed, Karnataka was also the first state to introduce them. Later, between 1994 and 96, under the chief ministership of Deve Gowda, the Karnataka government also passed executive orders providing 33% reservation for women in government jobs and 50% reservation for women in jobs at educational institutions and elected panchayat bodies. However, despite these huge strides made in local bodies, the representation of women in the Karnataka Assembly itself continues to remain poor. The current assembly, with a strength of 224 members, has a mere 10 MLAs, and the 34-member cabinet has just 1 woman minister. At 4.5% of the total strength of the assembly, Karnataka's share in the representation of women is the 6th lowest in the country, and the lowest among all the southern states' share of MLAs. While a total of 1,297 women have contested polls from 1967 to 2023, a mere 110 or 8.48% of these women have won. Although the number of women contesting in elections has increased over the years, this number is still not in proportion to the growth in the number of women voters, which has gone from 55.13 lakh in 1962 to 2.63 crore in 2023. Moreover, a big chunk of these women candidates also contest as independents, without the support of big or even smaller parties. As the passing of the Women's Reservation Bill sets off country-wide debates, Karnataka would do well to not shy away from addressing not just the bleak representation of women in its assembly, but also the overall plight of women's leadership in the state. For more such videos and stories, follow The Hindu.